The most powerful aspect of that was when we went into the different parts, and I really saw these three different parts to myself, and it really consolidated a lot of what I was going through and some emotional aspects that were happening in my world, and really helped to pull apart those different parts.
Yeah.
And the greatest aspect I got out of that was seeing my future self in my mind's eye, of this wonderful businesswoman that I'm aspiring to be, and how sassy she looked in my mind's eye. That was really powerful for me because it grounded in that aspect of myself that I wanted to bring more in, as well as looking at those other parts that were my younger self that perhaps were holding on to other blocks and sabotages that were blocking that businesswoman that I wanted to become. And that was insightful for myself, especially with the work that I'm doing as a hypnotherapist, to sit in that myself as a therapist and really feel into the parts was really eye-opening, I guess. Yeah, really eye-opening for myself. So the highlight of any work that I do with you is your intuition, regardless of the fact that I have done this work before. I have done parts therapy. I have done extensive hypnotherapy with counselors, and you know, I've done so much therapy on myself. And what I find unique about you is that your intuition is on point. And so as I'm working with you, it's like you really get me. You're traveling with me all the way. And that is a really unique aspect, because there are many different therapists out there who aren't that connected. They might go through the script or do certain practices which can be beneficial. But when it's somebody like yourself who is so intuitive and heart-centered, and you're traveling, it's like you're traveling in your mind, or in my mind, with me, and can really feel at any given stage what emotional heights or lows I might be having, and you're able to tune into that in that moment and draw attention to the healing of that aspect that might be struggling. Well, I noticed that there were roughly 6 main things that stood out to me in that session, and I think some of them took me by surprise, but some I was familiar with, and they're the old story and the old pattern. So the 6 main things that I came up with for myself were needing to have more patience, more discipline, to have a proper schedule, to be more committed, to ask for help, and to take action. So this actually highlighted for me to be more disciplined. And since then, I have joined your meditation class, and that has absolutely kept me more disciplined to myself. I'm being more committed. That valued selves exercise was really amazing in the sense that it highlighted the value that I do place on myself and where that actually comes from. So I do understand the discipline, because I have a subconscious block surrounding that based on my upbringing. So that value that I've placed on myself, the value that I've placed on myself of being a rebel and not being confined to being disciplined has actually been something I've had to review now based on that session we had. The valued selves is something that is awesome, that you have created yourself, and it really brings back to the person what the true value is and what they place on that. And with the work that I do understand that that sets a precedent in the subconscious mind of what I'm then going to attract into my life and implement into my life that's of positive benefit. And it's that positive benefit that I know really works well, and any blocks to that I see that I can still work on, which is where you come into play to be able to help shift those blocks. It's invaluable, absolutely invaluable. Yep. And I would recommend that specific session to any woman who is at that point in her life where she is just struggling and needing to reset her where she's at, and to have that session really highlight for her where she needs to lift her value of herself, and to start acting upon that in her outer world. I think one thing that you do for me and my business is that you inspire me.